As this may be the last occasion on which I shall have the opportunity of speaking to so many of you together, there are just 2 or 3 things I want to say to you. We have been given a very big task. You know that away in France, the 2 armies are almost at a standstill. Well, we have been given a very important mission: to turn the German flank. We are to land at the Dardanelles. The whir of a shower of pellets sprayed as if from a watering can, the whip-up of another circle of sea below, and another white and fleecy cloud slowly floating overhead. There was a bang which shook our ship. A huge, bilious yellow cloud for a moment sprang out from the side of one of the warships just south of us. Wales, I think. On our right, the Triumph and Bacante are firing round after round, the 2 big turret guns of the former roaring together. Not a sign yet from the beach. Only that ceaseless knocking, knocking, knocking. Presently, a curious oval object floats past us low in the water. It is a small rowing boat floating bottom upwards. That was the first sign we saw. And about halfway up, I noticed an insect with a soft rustle of flight like a bee's flying overhead. I could hear them, and I looked once or twice to make sure. Then, for the first time, I realized it must be a bullet. It was so feeble, that sound, so spent, that it was almost comforting. One had expected something much more businesslike. I knew, I don't know how, but one guessed from the way those guns were firing, unhindered at all by any firing of our own, that the troops there were being very severely tried. It was sickening to hear it. I thought there was only a party of troops on that further ridge, but it was the main line of our men, really. And it was great to watch them as they went, absolutely unaffected by the bullets. I never saw one man whose manner was changed by them, except in that moment when they got up and faced them and rushed over the trench. Then their faces were set, their eyebrows bent, and they looked into it for a moment as men would into a dazzling flame. It was as if the universe was a tin-lined packing case. And squads of giants with sledgehammers were banging both ends of it, and we were tiny beings somewhere in between. Whilst we were in this trench, I kept my head down most of the time. But when one put it up, one could see that a good few men had been knocked out. And presently the youngster rolled over and began to painfully crawl in. One couldn't stay any longer, so I nipped out of the trench and ran out to him and helped him back, and with my help he could get along on both legs. We were back in the trench very quickly. I don't think I did much good. But one's conscience wouldn't let one stay any longer. That was my only reason. Around the firing line. One knew now that there was no earthly chance of many of the men near the firing line being taken in before daylight. And that meant that they must lie there unattended, sometimes exposed to heavy fire for a whole 15 or 16 hours more. I have complete confidence that you will do all that the honour of England and Australia demand of you.